It's the $1 Million Organizer Show. Tips for professional union organizers. Win more campaigns, balance work and family, and leave the competition in the dust. Now here's your host, Bob Odie.
Hello, union organizers. Today we've got a great topic, and that is the topic of public speaking. And I want to make a recommendation that you practice public speaking even if you're good at it. And most organizers are pretty good at public speaking. You've got to be kind of quick on your feet. Got to be able to speak to all kinds of different audiences, whether it be at a small meeting of members or whether it be non-members, non-union workers, city council meetings. There's all kinds of different places where you're going to need your speaking ability to be top-notch. And one of the ways you can do that is to join Toastmasters International. Now, Toastmasters was started many years ago by a gentleman. He was trying to help some young men out. He wasn't impressed with the way that they were presenting themselves, and he wanted to make sure that they could get out, do public speaking, and sort of sell themselves so that they could get work and be successful. So it all started right here in Orange County. He started this small club, and it expanded, and now it's international. It's all over the world. There are Toastmaster clubs, and there's one near you, perhaps many. You got to find the right club, though, that fits your personality, your style. Some are friendly. Most of them are. They'll help you in many regards. You can practice public speaking, and that's what they do. These Toastmasters get together, and they practice public speaking, and they also practice leadership skills. There's 2 tracks. There's the communication track, which focuses on speaking ability to think on your feet. They practice by doing table topics. They practice by giving prepared speeches. And then there's a leadership track because they need people to, help facilitate the meetings. They also have speech contests if you're interested in that. So there's sort of this leadership track that goes along with it. Now, I joined Toastmasters several years ago, and I found the whole concept to be so rewarding. I mean, just right from the very first meeting, I got something out of it. That first meeting, sometimes people walk out before the meeting even begins because they're so scared. Public speaking is one of the greatest fears that people have. And you got to keep this in mind, not so much because you're afraid, although you may have some concerns yourself, but when you call on somebody in a meeting, don't be surprised if they don't want to talk because, like I said, public speaking is one of the greatest fears that we have. Shortly after the first meeting that I went to, I started to notice people using filler words, and I just used one a minute ago there, or ah. So, some of these other words that people use to gather their thoughts, but it can become a very bad habit if you use them often enough. Well, shortly after joining Toastmasters, I went to an organizing conference. I was really listening to the speakers as they spoke, and I noticed that some of them were using filler words. So, like, Well, this one gentleman got up, and I started counting how many times during his speech he used the word and it was over and over, sometimes 2-3 times in a single sentence. I might not have even noticed that before, believe it or not. But now I noticed, and I started making little hash marks and counting how many, almost 150 in a short speech. You don't want to be making those mistakes because some people are really going to notice those. Others won't. I'm sure you've been seeing people give speeches before, and you may not have even noticed, but they're there, those filler words, and they take away from the message. So we need to make sure that we're not using them too many times ourselves, and we want to get really confident, and every time we get up to speak, we want to be as effective as we possibly can. And Toastmasters is a great way to do it. Now, I'm not going to explain the entire situation, but basically, you're going to get in the habit of giving prepared speeches. And they can be on any topic that you pick, although they have to be in a certain way that they have it in these workbooks that they have you work through. I went through and became a distinguished Toastmaster. I thought it was going to take about 4 years, and it ended up taking me about 5 years. But I did reach Distinguished Toastmasters. I got that reward, and it was wonderful. But along the way, I also got some trophies for leadership, which was kind of strange because, again, that's not why I joined. But these are some great tools and things that you should consider maybe making as a goal for yourself if you join Toastmasters, or perhaps you could bring a Toastmasters club to your local union. This will help train new leaders. Now, not everybody wants to have new leaders in their local. There may be some pushback, but I think it'd be a great thing for the labor movement if within your home local you started a Toastmasters club. Imagine how your members could grow and develop. We need members that can go out and speak at city council meetings when we have an issue that is important that affects our members. There may be port authority meetings, bid meetings, all kinds of job start meetings, things like this where you need real members with good speaking ability to get up in a commanding voice and be able to control the message. So important. And although you may be a good public speaker now, you could probably improve. We can all improve and we can all learn something. And Toastmasters is a fantastic way to do it. So I urge you to sign up, go to a Toastmasters meeting near you, look into it, find out a little bit about it, and perhaps bring a Toastmasters club to your home local. Joining Toastmasters International was a great experience and one I recommend to anyone interested in improving their communication skills. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. We hope that you'll subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Give us a 5-star review and let us know what you'd like to hear the $1 Million Organizer talk about. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram @Union Organizer. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.